Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to Series 2 of Hurtwood Beyond the Hill. Today we are in the beautiful theatre to speak to a guy that was a shining light in this very building during his time at the school. Since leaving us here in 2015, he has taken his talents around the world. From Mamma Mia to Les Mis and everything in between, my guest today has starred in some of your favourite musicals. Everyone I speak to at the school tells me how amazing he was here, so I cannot wait to find out more from the man himself. Please welcome actor and ex-Hurtwood student, Mr. Toby Miles, everyone! Hey! Oh, Toby, thank you so much for coming back. How you doing? You okay?
I'm good, yeah. It's good to be back on the hill. It's
yeah,
been a long,
back
long
on the
time.
hill, back on the stage. How's it feel being back in here? Is this weird?
It hasn't changed. Yeah, it's mental being back here, remembering the blue seats, remembering all the times in here. Yeah, it's amazing.
I was going to say as well, we've done quite a few of these episodes now. Definitely you've got the best set out of any of our guests.
It's amazing.
We're in the middle of our concert at the moment. So we've got full lighting rig, there's a band. I don't know if they're coming, but if they do, it will be a wonderful addition to today's show. Is this the first time you've been back since leaving us? Or have you...
No, yeah, so I came back in 2016, I think, to watch Rent. And then I came back a couple of years ago now to watch Into the Woods.
Yeah, that was great.
So yeah, I've seen a couple, but watching the show tonight. So yeah, looking forward to... Yeah, getting back to it.
Well, we were going to speak about it a lot today and your experience in terms of performing in theatre. Really briefly, try and explain to people listening what a Hurtwood production is like. You've been involved in loads. You've seen a couple since you've left. What's it about?
I think it's just so full scale that it's hard to comprehend until you've seen it, been in it, done it. Yeah, coming into Hurtwood a very long time ago, 10 years, don't tell anyone. Yeah, I think I was always told about how amazing the productions were, the production value in terms of West End bands, sets built for the shows individually, like crazy stuff, and that sounds amazing, and then you see it and it just blows your mind. So yeah, there's just the scale of it is just so impressive. The effort that goes into it, everyone is giving it everything, and yeah, they are just a spectacle.
They are, and it's about the people as well. You mentioned it there, like they're all at the top of the game, which makes this so professional. Take me back to 2013 then. That's the year you joined, if I remember correctly. What were you studying, remind me?
What did I do? Media studies, music technology, and theatre studies.
Very creative.
Nothing academic. Sorry,
no, well, I think we're going to go through some of your academic things a little bit later on, and you've been harsh on yourself because you did very, very well. But take me back to even pre-2013, pre-Hurtwood. What was your dream? What would a young Toby want to do when he was older?
So when I was younger, I did a lot of Amdram.
Yeah.
I did Saturday school, all that sort of stuff. I went to a performing arts Saturday school called Ep4, which set me up really well, and yeah, enabled me to do all these creative things and express myself in that way as a really young person. Never thought I'd be able to do it as a job. Never once crossed my mind. It's just something completely unattainable. Someone that was musical directing some of the Amdram stuff that I was doing, a lovely guy called James, he actually worked at Hurtwood, and he was always telling me about it, this amazing place. It sounded mystical and magical and everything that I just couldn't really comprehend, but it sounded amazing. I told my mum about it. She thought there's no way that we can get you there.
Yeah.
And it's so much more attainable than anyone would think. And I got James set up an audition. I came in, sang for Cosmo a very long time ago.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. I came to Hurtwood and it set me up.
I was going to ask how Hurtwood came about, because you had all these young dreams and aspirations, but you actually met someone that worked here, so everything happens for a reason, kind of thing.
Yeah, lots of luck has got me to the point I am, in today. Yeah, I spoke to James. I messaged him. I remember it was on Facebook Messenger, and I said, what's Hurtwood? Tell me more about it. I'd love to. And he said, yeah, I'll set up a meeting with Cosmo if we can, and he did that. He stuck true to his word, and I got an audition. I came here. It was coming here for the first time, it was mad, and just seeing this thing that I could be a part of. Yeah. And I came here, did an audition, and that was it. So
that first time you came here, not even just the theatre and the performing arts, the school as a whole, what was your first impression? Mine was the view and how amazing it is, but what kind of things that you picked out?
Everyone just seemed so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, and it was just so clear that it's it's just a place that caters for everyone, and the diversity here is massive. The types of people that you interact with is massive, and it's something that I feel like I wasn't necessarily used to. And the just the you had some people doing academic subjects to such a high standard, and then alongside that you have this, and just walking here and walking around the space and seeing it, and going into one of the practice rooms and singing and just feeling that vibe, with a pianist, accompanying me. And it was just the first sort of taste of the life that I sort of live now. And at
just
such a young age.
Able to immerse yourself in it as well, and the life of Hurtwood. So you arrive in 2013, you do those 3 creative subjects. What is a standout thing about the Hurtwood structure? Because they're long days, you're doing all these shows that we're going to go and speak about, you're doing really well in your subjects. How does the day kind of work? Explain it to people listening.
Very good question. It's so full on, but it's so joyous that you just don't realise how much you're taking in, and you've got all these amazing teachers who are so passionate, so dedicated, and putting everything into making you the best version of yourself you can be. I think the days are so full. I don't know. It's a really hard thing to describe.
Well, I was going to say, you say how full on it is,
yeah,
and it's hard to achieve so many amazing things. I believe you got 3 A stars in your A levels as well.
Which I did.
Woo indeed from Guy.
I know,
very
honestly,
good.
I remember the word that came out of my mouth, which I cannot
say.
It was mental. My mum told me off so hard because she was filming. She couldn't ever show that video now to anyone. But I just couldn't believe it. And I would have never. I will tell you now, that will have never happened if I didn't come here. For sure.
So you achieved those incredible things, both performing and academic, and you did it with a smile on your face. And the reason I know that is because I have your school report. Stay there. Read some of the highlights from your time here. And that's the most incredible thing. With all this going on, you still managed to be such an amazing guy as well, it turns out. Headmaster report from 2013-14 says, in the classroom, you have proved to be diligent, committed, and highly able. We all believe that you're destined for success. Outside the classroom, you have made your mark as the most polite, courteous, and cooperative young man. Finally, a huge thank you and congratulations on your wonderful performance in Jesus Christ Superstar. What a tremendous spectacle. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on as well. But also focusing in on the performing stuff, the summer term headmaster's report in your final year. You're a wonderfully talented performer. It's quite clear to see that you're going to have a fabulous career ahead of you. We are left with great memories of you in command of the stage. I wish you every success at drama school and beyond. What's it like hearing that back?
Mad. Yeah. I mean, for someone who's very dyslexic, and was never I was never helped with that before. I came here and I really got the help that I needed with that. Those results wouldn't have happened. Getting those results whilst doing, a massive show of Jesus Christ Superstar, which obviously takes a lot out of you as well. None of that I don't think could have happened without the support that this system that's so well built can provide. And those words are obviously very, very kind. And
amazing to hear. But also, I think a lot of it's down to you as well, because there's going to be lots of students who are listening to this that want to go on and do what you're doing. So if you had one bit of advice to them to kind of throw themselves into the Hurtwood life, to, I guess, get a report like that when they leave at the end of the year, what's your advice to them? I
think throwing yourself into it as much as you can is the key, I think. Yeah, enjoying every single moment, because I look back at Hurtwood as it being one of the best times of my life, and even 10 years later I still do, and it's one of those things that I think about frequently. I actually met my long-term girlfriend. She's still putting up with me after 11 years.
From here? Yeah. A Hurtwood romance, there you go.
So it's this place just means so much to me, and my career wouldn't have happened, I don't think, the way it did. I wouldn't have got into all the drama schools that I got into, without this place, I don't think. And I just the courage and support that this place builds. I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah, you're right. It's that support network.
It's the support that builds the courage and the trust in yourself, and it can just build you. I think what Hurtwood did for me was built me up in a really solid way, where I stayed grounded, even with all this amazing stuff happening around me. Yeah. And then obviously that allows you to, when you get thrown into something massive like a big show as your first job, you can stay level and figure it out because you've done that here.
Yeah, and you're ready for it.
Yeah.
So you were being ready for big productions because you were a star of Hurtwood musical productions. You played Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, which is like the biggest solo role in the world because it's Jesus. You were amazing in it, and I know that because we've got some clips. Let's have a little watch of you in action. Watch this.
Nothing can be done to stop the shouting. If every tongue was still, the noise would still continue. The rocks and stones themselves would start to sing. Hosanna, hey, Zana, 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 ho. Zana, hey, Zana, ho.
Zana. Hey, JC, JC, won't you fight?
All that fall every night.
So this is, explain this, because we'll be seeing it on screen. The fall where they catch you.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Everyone is so supportive of each other in this environment. You're all putting on this amazing show. I had no worries about doing that.
Let me play you another clip from it. Oh,
God.
Well. There's more. But yeah, so that fall, not only they're supporting you, they're like physically supporting you
singing
as well.
Yeah, I think I was singing as they were moving me, which, unless you trust everyone, that's not going to happen. So.
This is another one of these. Watch this.
Why should you want to know? Don't you mind about the future? Don't you try to think ahead. Save tomorrow for tomorrow and think about today instead.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz?
I could give you facts and figures.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening.
What's it like watching these back? Does it feel in a way like it is yesterday?
Oh God, yeah. And I'll admit I have watched this since leaving Hurtwood.
So you've watched it back?
Yeah. Not in a self-indulgent.
No, I've watched Me and My Girl like 7 times, and I did that in 2019.
Yeah. No, I've watched it back, and mostly just for the memories. Like, as I said, this place is just fond memories for me. So, I've watched it back, and it's funny. The school just sees stuff in you that I think a lot of people wouldn't necessarily see in some people, or and you certainly might not see it in yourself. And yeah, it's funny because I watch it back now, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, really?
But clearly, at the time, like, yeah, there was the school saw what in me that I couldn't see.
And that potential
myself.
as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything maybe that a teacher or one of the people directing the show that year with Jesus Christ Superstar that you still remember and use today?
Oh, God, yeah.
What kind of things?
The whole Jesus Christ Superstar was, pardon the pun, a baptism of fire.
Very good.
Hadn't planned that. Yeah, it really was. It came, I was this guy that just went to a very normal school, and then thrown into this, and within a month or two, we were doing this.
Yeah.
And it was just, the scale of it was just so immense. And obviously JCS is a massive show, massive role. So that was a lot to take on. But I felt really supported in it. And obviously all the staff, we've got Doug, we've got, everyone here really supported me in that journey to find that character and figure out how on earth to sing that crazy material.
Yeah, while also being held in the air.
And tackling songs like Gethsemane and stuff. And there was moments in those songs that I really struggled to navigate as a very young person and with the vocal cords of a very young person. But they were made manageable by the team that was here.
Right.
And it really did feel like that. Even though they are your teachers, they feel like your team, you're in this team with them, and they feel like, they're your friends in the supportive sense, and they've really got your back. And yeah, it's just, oh God,
it's amazing to be back, and I feel exactly like this every time I come back, and I think we have very, very similar experiences as well. I came from a pretty normal school, and I was thrown into this, didn't really believe in it, but it is the people around you that believe in yourself in a way by the end of it. What other shows did you do? Because it's not just a musical a year, there's concerts, there's showcases. Talk to me about some of them.
Yeah, everything. I mean, what Hurtwood was really good at seeing in me as well was the fact that I wasn't the best dancer.
That's not what I heard. I heard you're amazing.
No, God, no. They saw that I was okay, but that, nowadays in musical theatre, you've got to be triple threat.
Yeah.
And they saw that I needed some extra help with that. So I was really encouraged to, go to all the dance classes and be part of dance company with Neil and stuff. So I was sort of encouraged in the ways that, at the time maybe I didn't really want to dance that much, and but they knew what was best for me, and I ended up doing that. And what else did I do? Yeah, I did a concert here. I did the concert. I've always been a geek as well, so I've always loved the backstage side of theatre, and that was another thing that was encouraged by all the lovely team here. So I was running the lights for Gig of Glory, which is the rock concert that happens, and all that sort of stuff. So I did all that stuff. I obviously did music tech as an A level.
Yes.
So I've always had that passion, and every creative aspect gets touched on at Hurtwood to such a high degree that whatever you're interested in, you've got it. I loved media as well. Yeah. And I did that here, and the equipment that you're using, the people that you're working with, working in a proper professional TV studio and cutting on professional equipment and software and stuff. So everything's just at the top level it could be for every single piece of new creatives, which is obviously what I was here for.
And plus it's a school at the same time, which sounds crazy that you get these opportunities at school in something you legally have to do, education. I'll tell you what, let's move post-Hurtwood. Let's leave Hurtwood House for a second, because you did incredibly well here, but you've done incredibly well since you left as well. Talk to me about the time immediately after school, after Hurtwood. Was it drama school? Was it arts ed? Am I right in thinking?
Yeah. So I auditioned for, I think, 3 drama schools. Very luckily got into all of them.
Amazing.
And which wouldn't have happened without Hurtwood.
Yeah.
And I don't think. And went to arts ed, did my 3 years there. Left arts ed with an amazing agent, and the rest is history.
What is the difference? I mean, not necessarily just arts ed, but drama school. Is there a big difference, or do you feel like you were very well prepared heading there?
Yeah, I think the jump, because I came to Hurtwood, wasn't so massive. I think having these size scale productions really sets you up to not be thrown off when you're thrown into these big productions at training, and you feel like the weight of the world is on you because you've got agents coming in and viewing it and stuff. But we've already had that, the agents come into Hurtwood and watch the shows, and people get picked up from Hurtwood, because it's that good. Yeah. So I think the jump wasn't anywhere near as big as it would have been had I gone to anywhere else, really. I think it just really set me up.
So in terms of auditioning, you mentioned it earlier on, whether it's drama school or it's kind of into the industry circuit, do you have top audition advice? Like, it's tough auditioning, isn't it?
God, so tough. Yeah. And some people it gets easier. For me, it never has.
Really?
It's always been a thing that I have to, for every audition, go back to my roots of preparation, of staying calm. Even stuff at Hurtwood, like we have Enigma, where you get to try out different things every week. And one of the things I did was meditation. And my first taster of meditation and mindfulness was at Hurtwood. And it's something that I've carried on, and before every audition, if I've not meditated, it's not going to go.
It's not going to go good.
Yeah. Even before productions, shows. Sometimes if you're having a bad day, you need to get into that mindset, and just little things like that you pick up on at Hurtwood that the world might not necessarily teach you outside. I think preparation is always key. Get your stuff down so you don't even have to think about it. Yeah. Just stay calm. Trust that whatever room you go into, the people want you to be the best that you can be because they want to cast it, or if it's somewhere like you're auditioning for Hurtwood, they want you to come here. If this is where you want to be and this is the environment that you're best suited to, they'll see that, and they just want you to do your best. And that's the same with the industry as well. They just want you to be you,
to do well. It's a brilliant thing to say, actually, because when I've been auditioning, a long time ago, and it was in my acting days. But you do walk into a room and think, oh my goodness, they're judging me. But they really want you to do well so they can cast it and go home, probably, a lot of the time. So that's a really good piece of thing to pick up on. Rejection, though, it must be tough in the industry. You could be, I guess, auditioning all day, every day, and you're not going to get every single job. Rejection advice, how do you pick yourself up? I'm not saying I don't know your career, but what I mean is it's a really good thing to understand, isn't it?
Everyone's had it.
Yeah.
I think, don't take it personally, because everyone's had it. I've worked with some amazing people. Someone I just came off School of Rock with, my Asia tour. She's the most amazing singer, most amazing actress, and she gets so nervous still, and she's played some massive roles, massive. And she'll tell you herself that she'll go up for 1,000 roles and maybe not 1,000, but you know,
Yeah.
lots, and most of them are no's, and that's just part of the industry, and you just have to shrug it off.
Yeah.
You know, do the audition, bring the best version of yourself, and if it goes your way, it goes your way, and you'll get the call. And
if you don't, you don't.
If you don't, you don't. And it's not a comment on you. You might have been perfect. Your performance might have been perfect, but you might not fit the puzzle of putting together a show, which obviously is a massive beast in itself.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's a really important bit of advice for people to hear, because people, and particularly maybe when they're this age at Hurtwood, take everything personally that, oh my goodness, maybe because I'm not the right person. You might not be the right person for that role, but the next role is just around the corner. So I think it's really important you said that. That's good. Musical theatre, always the passion? Did you ever dabble with a bit of straight acting while you were here, or was it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I did theatre studies, and a lot of what we did was straight acting stuff as well whilst we were doing that. There was like devising, obviously, for your A-levels and stuff. So, yeah, I've done some of that. Since graduating, I've done none of it. My degree was in musical theatre, but every job that I've booked so far has just been musical theatre, which is brilliant.
Because you're very good at it, yeah.
Well, I've been lucky. But, yeah, I mean, one day, hopefully, the aim would be to do some straight stuff, because I'd really love to do a straight play.
Yeah, already?
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
We put it out into the atmosphere, make it happen, guys.
Get me on screen.
Let's talk some of your amazing credits that you've done. Let's start with Mamma Mia. I'm a big fan of Mamma Mia. Was it the UK tour you did of that?
Yeah, UK and can't speak. UK and international.
UK and international tour. Tell me about that experience. That sounds huge.
Yeah. So that was I did it for a couple of years. It was straight after another contract. I think I had a week off between, and I went straight into that. And we were touring the UK, which was brilliant, because I mean, you're traveling all over, and there's places that I've never been because I'm not that well traveled, even in the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go and you're just experiencing different parts of the country that you never thought to go to. You know, spending Halloween in Bradford, and then the next week you're in Edinburgh, and you know, suddenly you're in Plymouth. I don't know. And the lifestyle is crazy. You're on the road all the time, and it's an amazing experience. And we did some international venues. We did like Dubai and Paris, and that sort of stuff. So that was.
What is it like? The difference, I suppose, between a travelling company, if you're touring, or you are set in a theatre in London? Is there a difference?
Yeah, I mean, I loved working, for example, in town on a solid year contract. It gives you maybe some kind of stability that other acting work doesn't give you. You go to work and then you come home, you know, that sort of stuff. But on tour, it's a different vibe. Everyone's there together. You're away from home, so you're going out for a drink after the show, maybe more than you would in town, because everyone rushes back for childcare or whatever. I don't know. So there's the vibe on tour is very different. If you're abroad, if it's like the tour I just did, that was in Asia for pretty much a whole year. So we were spending, 4 months in South Korea, and you're all there together. So the family vibe is even stronger, and yeah, they're very, very different. Both amazing, but yes, super different.
I know we're jumping around your life and career a little bit, but tell me about School of Rock, actually, because that was School of Rock in Asia, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, I love that show. I saw it was in London a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's such a great show. Explain the concept of the show, what your involvement was in it, and as you say, being in Asia for an amazing amount of time.
Yeah, super fun. I mean, traveling in Asia was incredible, and what an experience. Although I haven't done any straight acting stuff, that role for me was a bit of a step into that. So I went from Mamma Mia into that, and that was I was playing Ned Schneebly, who's the geeky character. Where did I go from? Mamma Mia into School of Rock.
Yeah.
Played Sky Mamma Mia, which was, the heartthrob, fiance, shirt off for almost the whole show.
Yeah, 95% of the show, isn't it?
Yeah, lots of gym time on that show. And then, and then I did School of Rock, which is a geeky, wears a tie in every scene.
Yeah.
It's that he's a geeky school teacher, and I got to wear my own glasses on stage and stuff like that.
Amazing.
Which is really funny. But yeah, going from something like Mamma Mia into School of Rock, that was such a drastic change. And that sort of gave me my first taste of straight acting in a way, because that was more of a character role, as opposed to anything else that I've done. Yeah.
But amazing that you have the ability to change between these roles, because Sky, I know well, because I've watched the movie loads of times and seen the play, very different to anything from School of Rock.
Yeah.
But then another massive gear change, if we backtrack in your career, is, of course, Marius in Les Mis. Am I right in thinking you were the last original Marius? That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, original. Yeah, because obviously I was the last last cast before the new production came in,
Right.
after they took a pause to renovate the theatre and did the concert version. So I was the final original.
The final original with the Revolve and all of that.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it like being part of one of arguably the most iconic musical
God.
theatre shows ever, right?
I mean, words will never express, what that show means to me, and also another baptism of fire. Jeez, I left drama school early with someone that my cousin actually went to drama school with me. We were in the same class, and we both left to do Les Mis, and it was before I'd even got my degree, just thrown straight into that. I don't think I was really ready. It was just like, boom, here you go. And it was, what a role. Jeez.
Yeah.
Like mental.
Incredible, and also so young comparatively to probably a lot of people. They would probably finish their drama school before they went into a show like that. How do you mentioned Sky and you said a lot of gym time doing that. How do you manage your life around a role you're playing? Tina and Cass, I believe, came and watched you in one of the shows, and they said it was incredible how like you just do a quick vocal warm-up and then you were ready. So how do you do 8 shows in 6 days? How do you look after yourself mentally, physically, vocally?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're touring, it's a whole nother beast because you've got travel days in there. You know, you'll finish on the Saturday and then you'll fly to whichever place next time. And then, so it's a lot. I think just staying healthy and hydrated. Obviously, there's a lot that you don't see necessarily. So, you know, if it's a role like Marius, I'll be drinking 3 or 4 liters a day of water. Warming up in the morning, make sure it's there. Even for stuff like Marius, I'd go to the gym and get physically warm so that, everything's supported. Yeah. And then you've got roles like Sky and Mamma Mia where you're, having to get your top off, and they don't at all pressure you into looking a certain way, but obviously you want to be comfortable on stage. So, I stayed super fit for the couple of years that I did that role. I think that was 3 years. And then, School of Rock was a whole nother thing where I was just on the road for the whole year, flying to and from Asia, and that was a whole nother beast. But nothing ever fully prepares you for it, but everything prepares you as much as it could. Places like Hurtwood,
absolutely
get you most of the way there, and then suddenly you're thrown into it and you find your feet.
I've said this before when we're speaking to people that have done musical theatre. It is, in my opinion, one of the hardest, certainly the hardest form of, I think, theatre, because there is, as you say, you've got to be a triple threat now. So you've got to be a great dancer, singer and actor, plus you could be flying around the world doing it as well. It's really demanding, and it's incredible that you've kept that level of performance up while doing something that's really blooming exhausting. Yeah,
I mean, things go. Your knees start to ache because you get a bit older.
As you get older, they're not even 30 yet. Your knees can't be going.
No, but you get little injuries, and you go to physio, and you find it. Find your way back, and the industry is really supportive, and they'll give you whatever whatever you need to get back on your feet. And
I'm going to be really cheeky. I'm a big fan of Les Mis, and it's very rare that I get to speak to someone who was the last ever original Marius. So, could you sing us a little something? Yes. Is that all right? Amazing.
A heart full of love, a heart full of song. I'm doing everything all wrong. Oh God, for shame, I do not even know your name. Dear mademoiselle, won't you say, will you tell? It's quite short, but
that's perfect. Oh my God, Toby, you have such an amazing voice. Honestly, thank you so much for doing that. I really, really appreciate it. I feel like we're just making you perform. Feels like you're on a travelling.
Nice to sing back in this room.
I'm going to say back in this theatre. The first time you've probably sung here since 2015.
Yeah.
10 years since singing. Thank you for doing that. I really, really appreciate it. It's very grueling on the body. We've spoken about that. But one thing that really excites me is something you did very, very recently, panto. What are the differences between a show like Les Mis or Mamma Mia or School of Rock and being in panto?
Whole nother beast.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that must be really grueling.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, so I did, my first panto was back in my hometown of Horsham.
Okay, yeah.
And they got me back to do that, which was very different to the panto that I just did, which was Jack and the Beanstalk with Rylan.
Yes, I have met Rylan a few times. Yeah.
He's lovely. He's very funny, and that's a whole other beast. I mean, you're rehearsing for a week, and then you're thrown into the theatre, teching, and then suddenly you're open and you're doing this show. 2 shows a day, pretty much all the time, and yeah.
It's literally. I was going to ask you, a week's rehearsal, bit of tech,
Yeah.
and then it is ridiculous. On different pantos, they have different schedules, but it's like 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Next day, you might even do an 11 a.m. then at 2 o'clock. How hard is that? Because panto is fun, right? Panto is super fun. Is it fun to be a part of when it's that grueling? It is.
Yeah. Honestly, every show that I've ever done, I mean, I'm sure there's obviously the odd day where you're like, Wednesday matinee, got to ramp myself up, and then you remind yourself that that person in the audience might have been saving up for ages to come and watch you, and you sort yourself out. Yeah. You're doing it for them. It can be a lot, but I mean, panto, the energy is just so, it's so high energy, it's so fun. Every show is different, things going wrong all the time, and that's part of the joy of it. And that's the same with normal musical theatre as well. Things go wrong all the time, and that's part of the joy, because on a Thursday night suddenly that piece of set falls over and you've got to make style it out, or someone drops a line and you've got to save them, or I think the live part of theatre is the best part of theatre, for sure.
I'm glad you said that. I agree, because sometimes if you think about filming, you can, if that's not quite right, we'll film it and go again. That's the beauty of live theatre and performance, and I think panto's the best form of that. You've done so incredibly well since you left us in 2015. You really, really have. What is next for you? What can you tell us? I know there's always auditions going on. And also, what do you want to achieve? It's, I suppose, 10 years since you left. If we interviewed you in 10 years' time, what do we want to have achieved?
I'll be nearly 40.
Well, I didn't say that.
Terrifying. Let's see. I think getting my teeth stuck into some straight acting, some plays would be good. I think that's definitely the way I want to move into, possibly some screen stuff.
So you left us in 2015. You've performed across the world. We've spoken about that. What would Toby, at the age of 15, have thought of the career that you've had to this point?
Wouldn't have believed it. Yeah, I think I've just been so fortunate in my life. Coming to Hurtwood was one of the best things that happened to me, and it happened so early, and it really set me up to get into drama school. Getting into drama school was a massive thing to happen to me, and I was super fortunate to get into drama school. Getting the agent I got, all these steps sort of just happened in a snowball effect from this point, really, of me being in this very room. So I think, I just wouldn't have believed it, really. And I still don't. I think I've never really processed that opening night of Les Mis back in 2018 when I was going on stage to play Marius. The opening of the show starts, it's massive, and I was standing in the wings ready to go on as a convict. And even then, it never really hit me. I don't think it ever will.
I think you put an incredible amount of hard work as well, so it's not all down to luck, but it's very kind of you to say that. So if there's someone 15 right now watching this, they're interested in performing, you've mentioned it lots today already, but the final word, why Hurtwood House? What could it do for someone that's watching us today?
If you want to develop into a young performer with a massive support system around you in what is literally professional environments with professionals, and the level of care and close attention that every single member of staff gives you, this is the place. You will grow, you'll grow as a person, you'll grow as a performer, you'll find your feet, and really me becoming the person that I am personally today probably started really at Hurtwood.
It's it's been brilliant to have you back as well. Thank you so much for doing it. A round of applause for the amazing Toby Miles, everyone. We really hope you're enjoying the second series of Hurtwood Beyond the Hill. Remember, if you'd like to watch any of our previous episodes, you can check them out on Hurtwood's YouTube channel, or just listen wherever you get your podcasts.